Good morning again. An inspiration for you today, but almost a working inspiration rather than just an inspiration to lift you up. A working inspiration, by my definition, is something that will plant itself within you and then come to fruitfulness through the day. That's what I want to give you today. I want to give you something that really can help you defend yourself against all of the feelings and emotions and thoughts that come and try to rob and take away from you. You know, the consciousness of mankind, male and female, young and old, is very, very powerful. The consciousness that Proverbs talks about represents, as a man or woman thinks and believes in their mind, God has created the ability for that to be actively what they live every day. If your consciousness is that you're a failure, guess what? You become the best failure you could ever imagine. And you continue to reinforce that. Do you realize that? You know, sometimes we do realize this, and sometimes we can hear it and understand it, but the reality of really consciously grabbing it and understanding the reality of your consciousness. Now, the title of today's inspiration is, you know, the power you have to defend and to protect and put the armor on against the enemy's attack, the enemy of failure and sadness and sickness and hopelessness and all the things that happen on a day-to-day basis in the consciousness and the thinking process, takes a renewed mind of consciousness, and here is your seed to plant into your soil, into your heart, and into your mind, which will give you the wellspring that Proverbs 4 talks about, that'll change the day and your life. Are you ready for it? It's the God consciousness that God, the loving God, lives within you, will never leave you or forsake you, sees you as perfect and pleasing and wonderful, and no matter what you have done, no matter what you're going to do, no what you've wanted to do, should have done, could have done, might have done, He sees you through the eyes of the love that He has for you. That's God consciousness. When you have that kind of consciousness, that you are a child of God, He lives within you, not upstairs someplace on the third floor, but reality of Him living within you, caring for you, guiding you, protecting you, encouraging you, directing you, giving you wisdom beyond intelligence. When your consciousness grabs a hold of this, and I want this to be your true seed that plants itself within your soil today, in your mind, to renew your mind, to transform your life, that all of us are trying to, I believe, transform our lives to a better place each and every day. No matter how good it is today, we're looking for it to get better and better each and every day to abundant life. But it comes from a very simple seed, a mustard seed level of awareness that God lives within us. He loves us. He's not counting the record of wrongs against us. 1 Corinthians 13 talks about that. When you allow this to widen and deepen and heighten and lengthen, as it talks about in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 14 through 21, this consciousness, and this is where this bases itself out of Ephesians chapter 3, will absolutely bring you to another place of consciousness, of life, of living. Because we're supposed to be living life. Not living the circumstances, not living the bad day or yesterday or circumstances or, you know, my mom didn't do this, my dad didn't do this, I didn't have that, I don't have this. We're not supposed to, that's not living, that's dying. But living abundantly is to have the consciousness that transforms your mind, your heart first, and then transforms everything around you and I on a day-to-day basis. So here's your challenge. Here's your seed. Here's your ability to transform in this minute, in this hour, in this day. Become God consciousness of the loving, compassionate God that calls you His child. He calls you His beloved. Lives within you with all the deity, with all the power within you, to just pour out inside you all that you could ever ask or imagine. It's not a fairy tale. It's not a fable. It's really the God consciousness that you have to grasp and never let go. No matter what the circumstance, no matter what the situation, no matter what it looks like, no matter what the facts are, the God consciousness will overcome, protect, and provide you with more than you could ever ask or imagine. Challenge it today. Challenge it. Think upon these things. He loves me. He cares for me. He protects me. He watches over me. And then talk with him. Talk with him. Share and dialogue. Don't talk at him. Talk with him. Allow that voice to remind you that he's there, and to remind you that he loves you, and to remind you that all things are working together for the good, and to remind you that it's even going to get better. That's your day inspiration, and I hope a life-changing inspiration. I'm Jeffrey Paul. I look forward to tomorrow morning with you. Have a beautiful day.